So I was going to start this by saying that Brian is our co-host today. Brian, you made it. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and I'm excited to have one of my closest friends on today as a guest for my inaugural episode.
How'd you get the call? Were you surprised?
I was just
walking
I was just walking down the street, and Leo was like, "Hey, does anyone want to help host this podcast?" And right place, right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got really good vibe. Kevin, tell people where you're at before we start. Where you at?
Yeah, I'm in Split, Croatia. Kind of at the tail end of a a little over 2 week trip in Europe. Started off in Switzerland, started off in Zurich, and then went to France, Chamonix, which is on the border of France and Switzerland. So trained across Switzerland, which was really cool. A lot of time in the Alps, and then took a flight from Geneva to Split, and
Wow,
yeah, just hanging out,
you're just living
here.
the dream. Well, is this like just like your normal summer like work schedule? Kevin, I want you to show people your helmet that you had earlier.
Oh yeah,
And
So
did you bring this with you, or did you
no,
find
this
it
is
there?
Airbnb. Airbnb.
dude, like when you put it on, like let's
Yeah,
give everyone a proper introduction of the
Yeah.
thing.
So this is a little bit of history right
it's like
here. This is an
Croatian.
actual. This is an actual helmet of Maximus Decimus Aurelius.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in my Airbnb, and the rest of his armor is right here.
Wow. Can you turn like side like could you do like 360 so we can see the mohawk thing?
Oh wow,
Dude, look
okay,
at
that is a really
that.
good
Dude,
man.
like do you get to wear
Nice.
that outside or that's the in-house item?
No, no, yeah, I don't know what would happen. I'd probably get jumped or something in the street.
But Kevin, is that really authentic?
No, there's no way.
Okay, okay. You said it so officially. I was like, wait, is that actually from like the Croatian army or something? But
Yeah,
that's
we
No,
get one
awesome.
of those.
I think it's
Yeah.
Roman armor. Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
you
you
know,
got the whole setup. Wow, that's
yeah. I
really
can put the whole
cool.
thing on.
that's
Cool.
awesome.
Sweet. I want to get kind of talk a little bit about the topic today. So I know Kevin, you're an expert in a very specific niche that Brian, I have never heard anyone talk about it. So Kevin, actually, can you give everybody a quick barbecue pitch about who you are, what you do, and be quick. I know you have a
Yeah,
Quick.
yeah, for sure. It's kind of a funny story. I was going to school in Boulder at the time. I had a local internship for this marketing company. Started off like randomly uh, running affiliate campaigns. There was like an affiliate division of the marketing company, and no one was really doing anything with it. And so, me and another person who worked at the company were honestly just smoking a ton of weed and coming up with like the wackiest ideas for certain things uh, that we could think of. And this is the wild west of Facebook, so
Mhm.
there were like two ad review people, and you could kind of like skirt around their schedule. Uh, the overseas ad review people were way more lenient, and so
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, we were advertising like kind of sketchy affiliate stuff. Dream marriage was the offer.
Already
It was
sounds like a lot of juicy stuff we want to dig into.
yeah.
Um,
It's technically
so Kevin, I know I want to make sure we have the resume out here, the like the stuff here we can kind of dive into today. I know you have tons of experience in the dating world, and this is the this is more about marketing your dating, right? This is like a whole prof. This is not like swipe right on your Tinder and all this. This is more like the marketing side stuff that we want to dig into. And I also know that you got a lot of like lead gen, video scripting, AI workflows, short form, like these ideas behind it. We're gonna unpack a bunch of these stuff.
yeah.
Um, Before we start, Kevin, could you give people some general idea on the whole dating marketing industry? Like who would you consider like the main player and what is the lead? It's just kind of general idea, really quick before we dig deeper.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, probably the biggest players, Match.com owns, which Match is a division of IAC, and IAC owns, a ton of different domains and companies. So, um, within IAC, uh, they have the Match Group, and the Match Group is Match.com, and it's Tinder, it's like Senior People Meet, and there are just a ton of other websites as well. That umbrella, and so they're probably the main player. eHarmony is another massive one.
Hmm.
For a while, Zeus used to be a big player. Zeus was a big one. But yeah, now we have a bunch of other apps as well. But at least in the lead gen space, it's less common uh, to have clients that are directly those dating apps. It's much easier for affiliate perspective to promote something mobile web versus in an app. Just
Sure,
given
sure, sure.
how
So
tracking
when you
is.
say affiliate, in this case, you're specifically saying that you sort of taking audience to these like major player you're talking about to so that they become the user of those sites.
Yeah. So let's say Match.com is a client. Uh, we would work out a deal with Match where we were getting say $10 a lead every time we send
Mm-hmm.
the starting price, and then based on the quality of traffic that you're sending them, they would eventually come up with the real price, which is
Hmm.
how frequently a free user is converting to a paid subscription.
Very cool. So
Pretty much.
essentially, you're the fuel for these sites, right? That's really interesting. Like you're basically the source fuel for it for a lot of those sites where they like you allow you basically creating ads and drive them to their site.
Yeah. For a while, I was leading the marketing division at LeadThink, and we were like probably top three traffic sources, maybe bumping into top two for Match.com. So yeah, we were
Wow.
a huge player in the dating space for
And,
sure.
and I got a question on that, Kevin. I know you mentioned just trying to figure out kind of exactly how you guys get paid. You mentioned like $10 per lead. Is that just a one time, or is that monthly, or if they end up turning into a really good user, do you guys get paid out bonuses? Like what does that
No,
look like?
that
No.
that gets wrapped up into the rate, right? And
Okay.
so
Okay.
the longer your history, the longer the history that you have working with a client like Match, you know, if once you get into a year or more than a year, they have a massive window of um, like analysis that they can perform LTV on how your
Mhm.
traffic is doing, and so it all gets wrapped up into the rate. If traffic matures over a long period of time and is performing better than expected, 12, 15, $20 a lead. So it all just kind
Okay.
of gets
Got you,
wrapped up.
got you. So it sounds like there is some mechanism that with a lot of these that allows you to make different deals out of that.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you also mentioned um, Meta plays a big part in this, right? And
Yeah, I
and
would
and
say me specifically, that's just what I kind of had a knack for. So very early on in my career, I just was more quickly skilled in generating creatives that would work well in Meta. And so it's not to say that that's the number one avenue. I would say Meta, Google, there's other display
Mhm, mhm.
partners like the Trade Desk, things like that. Um, Display networks that these sites will use for buys. But yeah, Meta is kind
Mhm.
of like maybe 30%.
Yeah, we've been using a lot of Meta, so definitely love to dig a little bit more in that. Dude, I have so many questions about like segmentations, but before I go in there, I do want to maybe talk. Can you maybe like let's maybe not get too deep or extended into it, but let's maybe stay on top of this. I want to know like, okay, at your position, because you're kind of like kind of like in this affiliate space, and you also are associated in a very relevant niche that we are all personally associated with, the dating field, right? And so could you tell us a little bit about, as a professional marketers, what are like some of the pain points or pain challenge that you have to deal with?
I would say consistently it's ad policy. That's the number one nightmare is ad policy. And then the number two nightmare is client compliance or client quality, probably, which are both are kind of related. But yeah, I would say number one issue is ad review. I think most people who run ads on Facebook or Google can relate to that. And then yeah, number two is it's like good LTV. That's
And with ad policy, Kevin, like what are some of the biggest things that come up, I guess, the most frequently? Like, is it the image itself is getting disapproved, the static image or the video? Is it the text, that's getting disapproved? Like even nowadays, I know you've been in the industry for a while, but just kind of curious, like what still is super annoying from an ad policy standpoint?
yeah. I think 90% of it is the creative. It's the image or video. I think the issue is that these industries that I've just happened to have been in the most have, for whatever reason, people, there are just certain niches, right, that just generate a lot of user frustration by design. Just it is what it is. Dating's one of them.
Yeah.
Well, I think generally when people date, they have more bad experiences than good experiences. That's just kind of like par for the course for dating in general. It just is what it is. But from an ad compliance perspective or an ad platform review perspective, that gets translated into people giving negative feedback on all the ads. It's like people will blame the ad on their own negative personal experience when they go meet someone and it doesn't work out, or maybe they get catfished on a website or something, and they're like, oh, this ad is bullshit. I just got catfished. This person wasn't who they said they were, and it's my fault.
And so would it be people actually like, let's say someone goes on a date, they have a bad experience, maybe they're new to Tinder or Bumble or whichever one it is, and then they start seeing ads all the time, right? Like on Facebook because they're being remarketed to, or they're in another audience. And so is it negative feedback on the ad, or are they like hitting like this is spam? Like what are those factors? Both of those? Okay.
Yeah. So there's a general quality score, and I imagine Facebook has like 100 data points on negative quality score of an ad. The easy ones that we can tell are people clicking "this is spam" or "I don't want to see this," "this isn't relevant," or just comment sentiment on an ad, right? So like you could have 100 comments, and we'll have hundreds and hundreds of comments on an ad that has done really well, and essentially 90% of those could be super negative. People just saying like scam, like this doesn't work, like these people are not really on the dating website. Well, duh. Have you ever seen an ad? Is the person that you're watching on TV, have they ever been in the in the product?
Meeting LeBron James.
Welcome to the first ad that's ever been made. And
so Kevin, it sounds like what you were saying, if I'm allowed to summarize, sounds like what you're saying is that the dating experience generally could be negative, and people could associate their negative overall dating experience with overall experience with product as well, and they might associate that to the ad being maybe like promising something different or whatever, and then because of that you're getting more feedback that is negative than it's supposed to, so it's becoming harder for you to run the ads. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. If you can kind of compare that to just a more vanilla industry that has less opportunity for a negative experience. Brian, I know you do a lot of e-com.
Yeah.
So I imagine a lot of your stuff, like if you're selling lights and it's like a good light, and people are getting what they expect, the
Yeah.
potential for a negative experience is only so great. The
Right.
light
Hmm.
the light isn't going to come to your house and like
It's
Did you
bash
did
your
you think
window
about did
it's
you think
it's
about this
it's
speaking of speed before?
like the light isn't affecting your love life
Yeah,
necessarily, right? But one thing I
light
want
is
to ask,
fast and tired.
yeah, dude, the one thing I want to ask, like just to clarify, is like, are you seeing that okay, a particular ad gets a lot of negative feedback, then that ad itself will then get disapproved, or will it just affect your account overall? And do you see that it goes in waves where I don't know, maybe you have a couple of these really bad responses on ads. Those ads go down, or does it start to affect new ads you're launching too?
Both. It kind of just
Yeah.
depends. I
Okay.
would say that once an ad really blows up, like you're spending, tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars on an ad,
Mm-hmm.
it's scrutinized. And so, let's say, the ad is slightly infringing on some Facebook policy. Like a good example would be fake functionality. That's a Facebook policy that they really don't enforce, and so um, we use a lot of buttons as or fake buttons as
Yeah.
a creative overlay. And so you could have like a picture of like a model of a guy or something, and you could have a button that says like sign up now to meet over the picture of the model of the guy. And technically that's not allowed, but Facebook really, it's not like a very strict rule. So that's something where at a low budget it'd be fine. But
Hmm.
if it really blows up and you're spending 100K on this ad and it's getting a lot of feedback, Facebook is just more heavily scrutinizing things in that ad, and so it's easy for that ad
Mm.
to get denied. And then
Yeah.
um, it can also, like you said, affect the account quality. Where if you have like 10 of those ads that are all blowing up and all getting negative feedback, um, Facebook will continue to be more strict on the new ads that you submit, and potentially uh, to just really um, stick to the rules, like really be by
Yeah.
the.
And I could see it be tricky too, because you usually you want to run with your winners, right? Like if you're seeing good performance, so if you have, let's say, I don't know, 10 ads that are all spending 100,000 a month, let's just pretend your marketing budget is 1 million per month.
Yeah,
If all of a sudden half of those go down or all those go down, I mean you're completely screwed, right? And so
yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like your thoughts on ad diversity, right? Like
Mhm.
how much are you letting ads run, spend, gather good comments, maybe bad comments too, and then when are you deciding to iterate? Like, and is iterating kind of a maybe a risk averse type play to that point of like you don't want all your eggs in one basket in case something happens and they all go down.
Yeah, so there's this is like I would say half of the battle with scaling campaigns, and especially in somewhat riskier vertical. Um, you should have multiple business managers. You should have multiple accounts instead of having one ad that's spending 100K a month in one account. Spread that out over the exact same ad in 5 accounts,
Mm.
and then literally they you would have to have the same disapproval happen 5 times instead of one time. And so,
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
crazy how much you have to do just to battle the disapproval. That is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean,
And
like even if you're in something that's like very very white hat and very clean, I think
mhm.
anytime you're spending so much money, really, like AI tools with review on Google and Facebook can be like so subjective and random, where I would, no matter what industry or vertical you're in, if you're spending that much, I would always separate that spend a little bit more across multiple ads, multiple accounts, just to.
That's really cool. I think we want to make sure we emphasize that on the Kevin, can you stand anywhere closer to your microphone? You sound amazing. I just want to
Oh,
know
sorry.
if you could sound even more amazing.
We, we,
Um,
we want to see you. We want to see you better.
Yeah.
yeah. I think you sounded fine. I just want to make sure we got better sound quality as well. Uh, could you maybe under the hood? It sounds like okay. I have 2 point I want to make. So it sounds like you got to be careful about your ad iteration, not like other ads we are running that's not so sensitive, right? Because to scale, sometimes you have to keep iterating. But it sounds like I mean, sometimes you don't want to call out for a review. If it's running, just probably not doing, just let it do the thing, right? So curious about how often does that actually cause you changing the ads and not have, like when you, or maybe not changing the ad because you are afraid of causing reviews. And the secondly is like, could you share a little bit about like what other types of ads could also be like sensitive in this industry? So I'm imagining like maybe it gets personal sensitive, maybe exposure, and because it's dating industry, you probably use a lot of humans. Can you give us a little bit idea on what's going on there?
So I think you asked two questions. Do
Hmm.
you want me to answer the what was the first one again? It was let's
Well,
see,
you were asking about like iteration, right, Leo? And
iteration. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it sounded.
so like how because it's sensitive, so you don't want to iterate normally like other industry that is in just for pure scale purpose, because you also have to worry about the policy here.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think it's actually the opposite. I think you should iterate more and spread out your risk across more iterations that are different, because it will, yeah, it just mitigates your risk across like one thing blowing up. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
iterate more,
It,
spread horizontal, iterate as much as you can across different accounts.
that's pretty interesting because I think kind of what you're getting at, Leo, is like typically you would iterate for performance reasons, maybe, or you're trying to improve performance.
Right.
This is almost like you're just trying to protect things, right?
Yeah,
Correct, because
Um,
they are big spender, they get a lot of like spend, and then you just wanna fine touch it, like
yeah,
almost like don't want to causing any attention to it if you don't need to.
And
yep,
and and I'm
100%.
I'm curious too about this because it sounds like this is maybe more common in the affiliate space or to your point, Kevin, like when people are spending a ton on individual ads, like the
Yeah,
importance of separating out different business managers. Because I would say for a lot of clients I work with, like nobody's doing that. And I don't know if it's something that people should do. If you're spending millions per month, even a couple 100,000 per month, if it is worth it. But I know like a lot of e-com companies don't do it by default, and so I'm wondering if it is just more common in the affiliate space. And then I guess just a second question, I assume like Facebook doesn't have an issue with that. Like if you have multiple business managers like driving to the same landing page, is that okay in their book or
yeah. So I
okay?
would technically you can, but honestly, I would even spread out your risk a little bit, like just separated the landing pages that you're
Yeah,
advertising. Like you could even
Hmm.
clone almost the exact same landing page and just like make some
yeah,
tweaks.
and
Something that's really I think a good strategy for even any e-com business that's looking to scale. Reskin your site, put it on a different domain, and
mm,
it's the same exact backend, but you're just reskinning it, and that's maybe even a better strategy for Google than Facebook because Google you're only allowed like one spot in the auction per domain, and um,
yeah,
you actually can. I mean, this technically is against probably Google's like terms of service or whatever. But yeah, you can just skin up your site on a different domain, same backend. You can get a couple more spots in the auction, and I think
yeah.
Facebook, I think, tends to work like that as well, where you can only get so much traffic just just using one domain.
Mm.
Hmm.
Facebook looks at you a little bit differently for more places in the auction, similar to Google, and you have less limitations if you use a couple different domains.
And so that actually brings up a question I have, and I know Leo, we had this somewhere in our list of just thinking about like the landing pages, landing page testing. Obviously, I know we've talking so far a lot about it, but creative. But I'm just curious if you could kind of describe, what a typical landing page would look like, for these like dating sites,
Jeez, all
right?
this
Because
balloons just came out.
I assume you're sending traffic to ultimately to the app directly, like the app store, right, where they can download the app. But there's like an interstitial page that I don't know, maybe like what does that look like? Like what's that first landing page that somebody in the dating space or that sees an ad would go to?
Yeah, so we were doing mostly like what used to be called a host and post, and we weren't sending
Okay.
traffic to a lot of apps. We would some traffic to apps, but it was mostly mobile
Yeah.
web. And so,
Okay.
let's say our client is Match, and um, the last step was Match.com, not the app, but the actual mobile web website, and you have an account there. For us, we would make our own landing page that would essentially be like a dating site search engine in a sense. And so
Hmm.
we would handle all the basic registration field info, so name, zip code, gender, what you're looking for. Be basically like a back-end API integration where on the last step of our site was you create a username and password, and then it ports you. Once you create that, it's like a seamless connection, and you are being brought over into the Match.com ecosystem. And so it's a
Okay.
really cool if you're marketing on behalf of another company. Um, you know, you could be their agency slash affiliate or whatever. If you have the opportunity to build out a domain that's your own, and you have pretty much creative control over that landing page, it's a game changer, right? And so typically um, the testing capabilities of your client are just the creative testing capabilities are just not there, right? And
Yeah.
so that's why we have jobs, is because
Right.
like they're not as just as capable. They don't have maybe the team or the
Not as
knowledge.
flexible as well, I would
Yeah,
assume,
not
right?
flexible.
Like I'm
Yeah.
imagining, like let's say mass. I don't know exactly how these dating site work, but let's say like they have subgroup for Christian group, for Black people, for Asian people, and but as a mass.com, they probably have to cater to everything, right? But you could go such a niche with your little landing page, just like christianmingling.com meetup, whatever, in Denver, even, right? Then all of a sudden, these people feel they're so relevant, and you're sending them still to the same site. They can digest the same product. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
Christian farmers in Denver.
Christian farmers in Denver, right? And once, like, you can even go very niche, right? People with, and that I think it's where like you shine, because then
yeah,
you don't have to compete with Match.com with their nation global covered ads that needs to cater to everyone. You just target your little Denver markets and just like relate to them and make them feel like you know what they are doing, what they need, and I think you can send a message so much more clear.
yeah. I
That's
agree.
really cool.
Yeah, it's. I think if you can get that from, let's say you're already, if your client isn't spending enough money, if you're not scaling, it doesn't. I mean, it's probably not worth it. But like for your bigger clients, if you're able to have that kind of relationship where you can get, if you can get the approval to run your own landing pages, and you can just test those on the fly in real time without
Hmm.
having to check in with them all the time, um, definitely like could not recommend it more. It's like it can be a game changer for your campaign. Even if you're just designing like a little pre-sell, right? Like maybe it's
Hmm.
just a literal one page like interstitial landing page between them. If it's an e-com site, you're still sending it to the product page after that. You're just sending them um, to one page in between. Like that could be a massive game changer uh,
Dude,
because
I
you
love
have the
that.
ability to test so much. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can utilizing to test concept, maybe pioneer product or product focus, and you still are able to refer that. And dude, it's brilliant.
Yep. Yeah,
Can,
and I mean, and if you if you really want to toe the line of what is not okay for a policy, you can have a blog that like a blog style page of AI pictures of Elon Musk using your product, and then that just boosts the conversion rate by 300%.
So
Lots of
on
gray
the
hats in this episode. We're gonna get banned. Oh my gosh, we're just getting started.
I do have a quick question for you, Kevin. Just on the policy topic. I know I'm sure a lot of marketers who are listening to this know that Facebook support, Google support, a lot of these ad platform support is not great, and so. Now, when you're spending a ton, is it any better? And are you still opening a case with just regular Facebook support, or do you have a rep you guys go to like first?
Yeah, so it's not always better, even if you're spending a ton of money. And so when I was running dating, we had a rep for a while, and then Facebook was kind of like after COVID, the market was crashing. Facebook did massive layoffs. They restructured everything. Everyone lost their reps, and we were running dating campaigns basically with no rep, and that was a huge challenge because we would have potentially billing issues would take forever to get resolved, and that can take down ad accounts. We would have just random ad accounts go down, and we were, I think the CEO of the company, LeadThink, or the president, was able to find help just like hunting through friends of friend connections, not even going through like actual channels, like just like like biz dev hard like sales through going through like LinkedIn friend connections, like just any way, just real like guerrilla biz dev tactics to try to like get in contact with somebody who could help. And eventually that did work. So that was like a big kudos to him, kind of like trying to get in contact with someone who could help any way they could. And now I'm doing some other, doing a lot of insurance marketing right now, which is also very kind of high risk in terms of how Facebook looks at it. And we're spending a ton of money. We're spending around $1 million a month, and we cannot get any sort of rep for the life of us, which is
really
sad. And Facebook just really don't want to give that top tier support for certain high risk angles. It's like they want to just they want to make it as difficult as possible. I'm sure there's
interesting.
I'm sure there's an exact business reason that they don't want to do that, right? Like they don't want to support certain financial products. They don't want to support certain industries just because for whatever reason, their team of lawyers probably said that we don't want to give too many resources to these industries that are considered like high risk.
Interesting. And then I guess if you know the tricks, it makes you extra competitive because like your competitors out there doing the same kind of offers, running into the same kind of challenges, and it's not solved from having a rep. You got to just like learn what the hacks are, I guess.
Exactly.
With that,
there's massive edge, right? If you can go in a high risk vertical and manage to like keep your accounts clean and running and scaling for a long period of time, that's like you're really outlasting so much of the competition who is just getting screwed.
Yeah, and I know one thing, Leo, we had on our agenda, which might make sense to switch over to now. Just thinking about creative, we've been talking a lot about creative so far, and I know, Kevin, especially with your new insurance focus, maybe with dating too, that you guys had really started to make that switch from sourcing actual UGC creative, hiring models, writing scripts, and to actually now using AI video generated video. I'm not sure. I think you've been doing that just for like a couple years, but I'm kind of curious if you could just talk a little bit about that, like some of the challenges of moving from that kind of old school, like let me find 5 models, let me get images, videos, write the script, then moving over to like fully essentially
give us some background idea on like what does workflow look like.
So this is really, really funny. So this is like pretty early on in my career. We were having issues finding good images for models to use for dating, and we would have iStock photo and these stock photo websites, and like the pictures on those stock photo websites are just so terrible. Like you don't want Granddad Harold or whatever, like modeling your products. Like that never really works, except for him. Maybe it's a meme that works.
Yeah.
But for most things, iStock photo has always sucked, and you were able to kind of get away with it in the early days of marketing before you know, creative strategies really advanced significantly. And so I always hated iStock, always hated the photos, and I was talking with an exec at the company, and he was like, let's just run our own lead gen offer for models. And so that was kind of cool. That worked for a while. I was running ads targeting because I was looking for men and women in their 50s who were like, very attractive. And so I would target like LA, and I would target like either like certain high-end fitness brands or like maybe TV shows that attractive people would be interested in. Definitely layered in fitness interests. And so we had this like interesting funnel where we were getting a good amount of models coming in, talking to us, and to a small degree, I was like messaging them and like arranging the shoots and stuff, and it was like, like you could wear this and that, just virtually, and then they would be.
That's really cool. Wait, so you actually are running a campaign to get models so you can shoot ads for your actual clients.
Yeah, I mean, this was like 10 years ago, probably, maybe a little more.
And Facebook, you're talking about Facebook campaigns to get models, right?
Yeah, we were running running messenger ads, and so they would like message our page if they wanted to like they wanted to be a model, be paid for their pictures.
Well, Kevin, I'm surprised you didn't like run a model company at this point.
Yeah,
right.
Just like some GQ, Kevin issue one or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I could have back then, but I'm really glad I didn't, because they're all the modeling companies are being replaced right now.
And when you were doing dating in the dating space, had you started experimenting with AI creative yet, or was it all just you? Okay. And was it statics? Was it videos? Like what were you trying out, and how did that compare to these models?
Yeah, so in the beginning, as soon as I think Midjourney was one of the first ones that came out, and as soon as that came out, I was like, this has to replace spending, hours and hours and hours arranging a shoot and finding the right person. I was like, I know this is going to replace it very soon, and it was hard because the early days of Midjourney were not that good. And so you weren't able, it just didn't look realistic enough. And they still weren't outperforming, but it was like, maybe a year or two into Midjourney, because Midjourney's actually been around for a long time. They had some crazy advancement where they were able to generate a much more realistic person. And then it was able to prompt who was 45 years old in a sexy firefighter suit or outfit on the beach, holding a puppy.
I think I've seen some of these ones you sent me back in the day. Kevin used to send me a few of these.
Wow, that's crazy.
When you're able to get that specific and have it spit out a realistic thing, then it just became stupid financially and efficiency from a time perspective to try to work with your models anymore.
And was the performance like immediately like just better, or was it because you could iterate so much quicker? Like, what was the real value?
Yeah. So like I said, the early stages of Midjourney were not that good, and so I was testing versions, and it really wasn't outperforming in the beginning. And then there was like one update where the update was just good enough, and then it was consistently, I would say, as good as some of the best shoots, and so because you can, when you're arranging a photo shoot, you might have like 5 different models and like a ton of different pictures. 90% of them probably won't work out anyways, and so you have maybe 10% of good pictures from a photo shoot, and even if you have like 5% or 3% of your AI generations, if you're able to generate that sort of percentage of winners, you're still like in a massive advantage over the in-person model.
It's like the speed to find the winner,
Scale
right?
game. Yeah.
Is like
Exactly.
the big thing.
Even if your percentage of winners is
Yeah.
significantly lower on the AI tools, the speed at which you're able to iterate, like you were saying,
Yeah. The
is
cost.
so high. Like you're still gonna be able to generate winners at a much
That's
faster rate.
crazy, dude. So
Like
like,
for
what about now? Like today, like what like do you think these ads is just so much more realistic? Like
Yeah, I mean, it's only getting
considerably.
better. I think we've just gotten to a point where it's like I feel like I can still tell if something's AI, but you guys might be able to as well. Like
sometimes.
we're like yeah, exactly. We're like the last 1% of people who can tell something's AI, and
Right.
another year from now
Wow,
we're not going to be able to tell, and we might not already not be able to. And so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
you guys right now could be avatars streaming.
I thought about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Kevin,
thought about we should do an episode in the
you
future
got
where we're
me. You
all
got me. You got
dude.
me.
Leo, yeah, Leo like starts glitching out. Dude, we should do one in the future where we're all AI avatars. Because yeah, that would be pretty
Kevin,
interesting.
can you share with us like what kind of ads tend to work well? Are we looking at all this like very handsome, like hot, like beautiful people, like as a visual, and then like what, like is that kind of what it is, or is actually there are different angles that you think about? Like that's I have no idea.
So so everyone's kind of got their own strategy, and you can do different angles. Like for dating, there was this like old Santa Claus looking guy with a beard that would do really well. Um, and that was kind of one angle. Like sometimes like a veteran angle might work. And so like you could go certain niche angles where you could find didn't always have to be a hot person, but like for my goal typically in marketing is to find like the biggest like I'm going for home runs. And
Okay,
yeah, I'm trying to hit a home run like every time. And so that means I'm trying to find something that's going to work the best for the widest audience possible. And so that's why for dating, it's like, okay, what what type of person is going to be able to scale? Like, what's the one ad that could scale the farthest and have the best margin across the biggest group of
hmm
people?
hmm
And so that's how I figured out it was for women who are dating online. It was like, or at least women over 40. It was the firefighter, the jacked firefighter uh, holding a puppy, and that was like, had the biggest scale opportunity. Um,
dude,
for
I think I'm going to make a note of this,
It's like I think I'm gonna buy
and
a puppy.
I'm gonna get a puppy, and these are firefighters. You know, this is like a
Yeah,
test, well
I mean,
tested,
become a
like
volunteer firefighter.
Yeah, there you go.
volunteer firefighter. Dude, damn, this is like the
They won't
also
even know.
through test of millions and millions of impressions through testing and
But let me ask too, Kevin. Like, did you run video for the dating niche, or was it all like
Yeah,
static
I tested
images?
a lot.
Yeah,
So it's funny because I think ecom, I feel like video always outperforms, or typically
yeah.
always outperforms. But for lead generation, a lot of times images will outperform. I think more times than not,
Hmm.
images will outperform. So
Interesting.
yeah, for dating specifically, it's really weird. I don't know why, but we would test tons and tons of videos. But at the end of the day, images still work best.
And it seems like in that industry, it just always has been that way. I don't know why, but all the ads you ever see are just like, thumbnails of people, right?
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, maybe it's a grid of thumbnails of people. Maybe it is just one close-up thumbnail, but that's like just what you see
Yeah.
a lot of the time. And so with the insurance niche, is it? What do you see there? Is it like a lot more video than static images, or like more of an equal mix that's working well?
Yeah, so I would say with that niche, it's a mix. Typically, you can get either to work. Videos will be better quality.
Better quality leads. Okay.
So static images, but static images still work.
so
Cool.
Kevin, what are some of the tech stack you have like right now? It sounds like you obviously ChatGPT and like
Yep.
some of the
So
user
uh,
suspect. What's on your list?
yeah, so we kind of like test a bunch of different things, but I feel like the easiest workflow that we do use ChatGPT is really, really good now for generating realistic still images. And so, you could upload a character, have ChatGPT learn the character, and say, I want to put this character here, I want to put him there, and then you can even have consistency of the setting. Like you can have ChatGPT help you build the prompt to say that I want to put this character in a couple of different scenes within one store, for example, if he was buying some product they were selling.
Yeah, the firefighter with the puppy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or if the firefighter with a puppy, like let's say he's on the beach holding the puppy, you could say like,
Hmm.
the wave, the tide is slowly create stills where like the water is slowly uh, going out to tide. The tide's moving out, and so
Hmm.
you can have
I love that.
ChatGPT generate a bunch of stills of that, and then um, you could upload those stills into like Google VO, for example. I think VO is um, either the best or really close to the best. It's insane
Yeah,
for converting a static image to a video. Uh,
Mm.
make that static image talk. The lip sync in VO is incredible, and so I think really the easiest workflow is create realistic static images in ChatGPT, and then you can upload that as the first frame in Google VO, and create your videos using
hmm.
that method. It's
That's
insane.
cool. That's
I
pretty
love that.
cool. And so a lot of the times that you're like, are you not you're using ChatGPT for that ideation, but then the actual video creation you're using a tool like VO3.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I like how you're building the scene. It's like writing
Hmm.
slow tie. It was the 13th of the December.
Yeah.
The night I'll always remember. That's,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
but
you still have to write out kind of, you have to conceptualize your script before you even touch chat GPT, right?
yeah, I recently starting to like fuck with some of those like image formats as well. I don't really use it as much, but I'm testing some of it and it's actually performing pretty good.
Nice.
Definitely something I think I should like testing more with some of my project.
So, and I
Yeah.
think one thing too that we'd be curious to hear your thoughts on, Kevin, especially with the show being Hug Your Metrics. We've got a segment like, what metrics are you hugging lately? But with just thinking about overall metrics for, we've been talking about old school creative where you're sourcing it, you're scripting it, you're generating new creative now. What are the main metrics you're looking at? I mean, is it things like software metrics like click through rate, view rate? Is it just CPL? Like what are those that you're determining what the most successful creative is?
Yep. Yeah. So right now, I think average video watch time is really good. And so if you have something that's generating a lot of ROI from, let's say you're doing lead gen, and you have a video that's working really well, and the video average watch time is like 3 seconds, it's probably generating a low quality lead.
Hmm.
If you have a video that is profitable on the front end from a per lead basis, but the video average watch time is 20 seconds, 30 seconds. That's amazing. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, if you can generate
I love that.
videos, I don't know if you guys have experience with running a lot of video videos. I don't know what average watch times you're getting,
Yeah.
but it's easy to get video average watch times on creatives that don't do well, that like don't convert. Like we'll
Hmm.
test like meme style stuff that people love watching, but the conversion rate sucks, and it's
Hmm.
tough to kind of like get those two to work hand in hand, where people are watching the video for a long period of time and then also converting at a high rate. It's like they're also, yeah,
Because you wanted to watch for a while, but you wanted to watch for the right reason, right? Not
yeah,
just because it's
exactly,
some
yeah,
ridiculous
Yeah.
video like that is so silly.
But I love that. It's
And
like a backhand, backdoor way, kind of like getting some really good like behavior data, right? Because we get lost in those aggregate data so easily, where it's like average this, like this rate, that rate. Like these really get you very quickly laser sharp on what ad actually needs a little bit second thought.
Yeah, yeah,
And from like a reporting standpoint, I could see why you, in order to move quickly, you kind of need to go look at something like average view rate.
sure.
I mean, how quickly do you guys know if they're good or bad leads? I mean, are you like, same day,
Yeah,
or do you have to wait to get that feedback? Okay, so you're able to get that feedback, whether it's dating or whether it's insurance or any affiliate niche. Like you're
yeah.
able to get the lead quality feedback like pretty much instantly.
Yeah, yeah. So with dating, for example, you can usually get data on how many users are signing up for like a trial. So
Hmm.
people, those types of free registration websites will typically try to funnel you into a 1 week trial, and then like maybe it's $1, maybe it's free, and then after the first week or after the first 3 days, then it's a rebill. And so you're getting that signal really quickly
Yeah.
with
So it's like an
insurance.
API hookup on those sites, allow you
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
some of
or
the
just
funnels.
yeah, they're
Okay,
they're sending a pixel fire on
gotcha.
those trials or something. Yeah,
Nice.
so you're getting that same day. Yeah, you're getting from on the insurance side. We have stats on like how the calls are performing. So we send calls. So
Gotcha.
uh, you're able to look at like average call length really in real
Gotcha.
time, and so
Hmm.
you know people are getting on the phone, purchasing plans, insurance plans or something, or signing up for a plan. Your average call length is going to be really long. If it's a terrible lead, um,
I
it's
always
going to
have
be
blue on my side. I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm trying to
It's
figure out
like
what word is triggering that. I don't
I
even
think
know.
I
I
think I
think
think I think I approve. I think that's what it is. I approve. The secret
It
balloon
reads your
sometimes
facial
doesn't get
expression.
you.
Yeah.
oh that's automatic.
It's automatic. I didn't know. Maybe it's a secret hand signal. I have to test it out.
It just knows
I
you
just
like the
threw it
idea
on
based
blue.
on your, yeah.
I
Balloons,
thought you were
balloons,
clicking
balloons.
a blue button. Yeah.
No, I wish it's like that. No, I can. I'm hand free. We actually are at 52. Wow, I can't believe this how fast this roll.
Blue
Brian,
button.
you wanna like get into any last minute questions here?
Yeah, well, I know we have this section which is tentatively titled Brian's Blitz. So we're gonna just give you some rapid fire questions here, Kevin. Don't need a lot of explanation on them, except the last one we might, because it's more of a fun question. But I know you've answered some of these already, but static or video?
At this point, video. Yeah,
Video. Okay. Uh,
because the capabilities are so advanced. The
yeah,
only limitation right now is your imagination.
yeah. I like
You can
that.
create
That's
whatever
a
you
good
want.
one.
Yeah.
15-second or 60-second video?
60 second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you see that?
It's going to be better quality. Like 15
Hmm.
seconds, you can typically get someone a little cheaper uh, onto your website. So if it's really top funnel stuff, 15 seconds can work with
Yeah.
traffic. But like if you're confident in your funnel and you really are just looking for the best conversion, I think the best quality, I think 60 seconds.
It's almost like
Okay.
you're saying someone committing 60 seconds, it's more likely to, right? Therefore,
Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure. Yeah, I mean,
almost goes
if
to
you're
your,
able to like get a good average watch time on your 60-second video, like
exactly.
that's killer.
That's exactly the point there. Yeah, you're getting more better quality source.
All right, we got Meta or TikTok.
Meta, but I think it depends on niche. But
Hmm.
uh, I think the age demographic on Meta, I think is always pretty much always going to yield a higher AOV. It's a more affluent audience,
Yeah.
right? Like I want to target the boomers, right?
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Zoomers.
Exactly.
The boomers have more money, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, they're
And
heavy on meta still.
now,
yeah,
what about though in dating though? I mean that seems like it could potentially, like, TikTok could be a good channel. I mean,
yeah,
do
yeah.
you?
I think it could change, and
Yeah.
it does work. I think the issue with TikTok in some of those industries where it's even harder to get things approved than Facebook and Google. Facebook and Google are so ingrained in our society from like a legal perspective. Like they've been battling and pandering to the government for decades,
Yeah.
basically, and so
Yeah.
they have a much more solid hold on their place. Whereas like TikTok almost got banned, right? And so
What's going
TikTok,
on?
yeah, yeah, and so
True,
TikTok is
true. I
still
mean,
um, TikTok doesn't have as deep of a footing in our like regulatory environment, and so that means that TikTok has to be even more careful with the types of ads that they allow. And so that's I already have all these issues with Facebook and Google. TikTok's even
Yeah, that's a great
yeah.
point. And especially like, your answers here, I think are obviously heavily based on your experience in the industries we've talked about.
yeah,
Because I think on the e-com side, we see TikTok
different.
can work, but Meta's, I think Meta still is where a lot of budgets are, depending on
Yeah.
your audience,
Yeah,
This one,
I think for certain
yeah,
apps, if you're pushing app downloads and your app is just happens to be targeting a younger audience, TikTok's probably amazing.
right.
I've
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah, and yeah. Sometimes I talk to people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I buy tons of things off TikTok." I'm like, "Really?" And I don't know. Even people like I don't know, late 30s. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. This next one, I think, based on your previous responses, I probably know, but is AI or real UGC?
Yeah, I mean AI is really UGC basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's like the most blunt way to put it. I think people try and dance around the fact that like it's like fake UGC, but then you think about it, like UGC is actually people paying people to review your product and look real, so that's kind of fake too, right? Like it's just better fake UGC.
Yeah,
And you can do
exactly.
it quicker, faster.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know. Oh, I love that. That cracked me up. And then I don't know. This one's kind of specific to Meta media buying, but like manual business as usual campaigns or ASC.
Hmm.
Are
So
you guys using
ASC.
much ASC like
What
Adventures
is
Plus?
ASC?
Like I guess
Like,
that's more for shopping, so I guess it wouldn't necessarily apply in this space. But like, are you using like I guess what kind of campaigns are you using? Is it just old school conversion campaigns mostly on
Yeah.
Facebook? Okay.
Yep.
Now, do you test like higher funnel ones or just run conversion campaigns?
Not really. I mean, I think for short form lead gen, in the past, I've tried retargeting a ton of times, and
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really outperform. Yeah, it always underperforms, and I think
Okay.
that was true with dating as well.
Yeah.
Any type of like top funnel stuff, you don't really need because like the lead is top funnel, right? The lead is
Yeah.
already top funnel um, marketing for the sale later on, and so.
hmm
Uh,
yeah.
that's why you don't really need to retarget. It's like you already.
Yeah.
And
We've
it
seen
sounds
that
like
a
you still
ton
do a
too.
lot of, so it sounds like you still do a
No, you're
lot of
good.
lead form on Facebook, like the Meta instant lead form.
Yeah. I honestly never used the Meta built-in lead form. I've never
Oh,
gotten
Hmm.
okay.
that to work. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I
So
mean,
it's like
I'm doing
landing
more
page. Gotcha.
general, yeah,
Okay.
landing page stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We've
I'm a
we've
big
like
fan of the instant lead forms. Big fan.
Yeah, I've seen it work pretty well for like certain industries or even like agencies, like service businesses. But it sounds like what you guys are doing on the landing page front is like you guys know what you're doing, and it
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah. You
works
just
for you.
control.
Because it's just like
Yeah,
the funnel they had to build in. They had to also take the experience to hook up with the dating site for that interface.
right.
So I
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel
Yeah. I
like,
exactly.
think it has
Facebook
to
is
at
in lead
different
form.
levels.
It's not
Yeah.
going to be as kind of easy to
Mhm.
pick up from there. I feel like it's kind of
Yeah.
missed the step of that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connecting with the API of like the Facebook lead form has a lot of limitations. I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I figured.
All right, last one here, which is kind of a fun question, is funniest dating campaign shoot moment, if you have any,
Yeah.
or
No.
communication. Yeah.
I'm glad I could bring this up. So this was my dog Taco. If you guys remember
I remember
Taco,
Taco. Yeah.
Yep,
again,
that
this was like over
boss.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
I found a guy on what was it? It was on Fiverr, and found a model on Fiverr. He happened to live in Colorado Springs. I didn't know this ahead of time, and but look, we were talking and realized he lived in Colorado Springs. Planned a photo shoot for him to come out to Red Rocks and I was actually doing the photo shoot, and this is like the first time that I'd ever done this, and honestly, it might be the last. Like I didn't personally where I'm there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got this like janky little, it was a microphone that connected to, it was like this wired microphone. And so it was like right here, and like, it wasn't that long. And so I'm like filming, and like there's like this floating like mic line, that's like in the middle of the image, and like he's holding taco. We hiked up to the very top of Red Rocks, and like I'm trying to get the right angle of like seeing Red Rocks and Denver in the background, and I'll probably find an image still that has this, but we took a bunch of pictures and recorded a bunch of videos, and it was just so cheesy. It looked so
Wait, was
bad.
Taco supposed to be the puppy, like the 40 years, like the puppy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now connect the dots. Like, where's the Taco costume?
Yeah, I'll use my dog, Mr. Wawa. Let's put him in the ad. I found this guy in Fiverr and set up the shot of Red Rocks that looked like just so.
Oh my gosh! That's
We got to see the pictures if you have them. I'd love to see these.
What a mistake! Yeah.
It'd be a bonus.
Well,
bonus
I guess we have to end this show here. Let me ask you guys: is your heart feel full?
Yeah.
Yes, my heart is full.
My heart is full.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm out here in Croatia. I'm talking to my friends, doing a meaningful podcast, and I love to talk about what I do. So,
Yeah.
We are actually doing this. This is really cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kevin. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, this is really fun. I would love to do it again.